When you go to government section or maybe semi-government section, okay, so that time you need to maintain records. So salutation, how you address that person, and also your name, address and designation, you have to mention it in the end of the letter. So whatever request you are placing before the recipient, that comes under inquiry letter. Hello everyone, I am Dr. Shalini, Professor of English, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. Today we are here to understand one of the letters in your business correspondence, that is section A for prescribed by University of Mysuru for 4th Sem BCom. So we need to understand what is there in today's module. So we'll be understanding the meaning of inquiry and reply letter. We'll also understand few tips and tricks in order to write a better inquiry and a reply letter. We'll also understand the format, what is there for inquiry as well as a reply letter. We'll also look at a sample inquiry and sample reply letter. Okay, so we need to understand what is the meaning and why do we write this. Okay, so let us start by understanding the meaning of it. Okay, so to begin with, we need to differentiate what is an inquiry letter and what is a business letter. Okay, so here whenever you are going to inquire about something, okay, so there you make an inquiry. Whatever answers they give, that can be considered as a reply. Okay, so this we are talking about letter writing, but generally when we are talking about, whenever we are talking also, suppose you go to inquire something, just recall your first day visit to this college. Okay, you might have come here to inquire about the courses that are there, and also the whatever they'll be teaching in the course, and also the fee structure, okay, and the fee breakup. Okay, so this is what you might have come to inquire, isn't it? So that is called as an inquiry. So you will fill in an inquiry form asking them what and all the details are there. Okay, you will also talk to the concerned person. You would also have spoken to the concerned person about what is there in this course. Okay, whether you would like to take up BCom or BBA, what it is. Okay, so you might have spoken to the concerned person, and also you will be inquiring about what is there in the course and also what is the fee structure. So all these come under inquiry. That means whatever you are questioning, okay, whatever your questions are and whatever your doubts are, whatever, like they'll be clarifying that, isn't it? So whatever you are going to ask, all that come under inquiry. Okay, so whatever reply they are giving, okay, they might have given you the brochure of the college, they might have explained to you the fee structure, and also what and all are there in this module. Okay, so all these come under reply. Okay, so generally in a conversation also you might have an inquiry and reply, and even in letter writing also you will have inquiry and reply. You might ask me, ma'am, why should we go and write a letter for inquiry? Why should we give a reply to that? And also you might get a question, ma'am, we can do it in email only. Why do we need to write it in the prescribed format also? Okay, so whenever you are reducing paper by doing it by email, but when you go to government section or maybe semi-government section, okay, so that time you need to maintain records. Okay, you need to give a record to any government official or maybe at a government level. You need to maintain records as to what was the inquiry, what was the reply given to that. Okay, suppose whenever you're talking about your business level of inquiry and reply, okay, so there also it is good that you maintain a record, a hard copy as a record. Okay, so that is very much important. So that's the reason you need to write a letter and not finish the conversation by email only. Okay, so here let me just come back to this inquiry letter. So letter written to inquire something. Okay, you are asking something, maybe you are getting your doubts clarified or something, so that time you write this inquiry letter. Okay, so this objective means the what is the aim of this, what is the purpose of this. Okay, that is the objective. Its objective is to make a request to the recipient, whoever is receiving the letter. So that person, there will be a request made by the sender. Okay, suppose I am inquiring something, means I am making a request to that person before whom I am inquiring. Okay, so that means I have gone to the person with a request. Okay, and whether that person will honor my request or not is left to him, but I go with an inquiry. Okay, so I go with a request to the recipient. Then benefits either the recipient or the sender. Okay, suppose we can discuss and we can settle the matter amicably. So then it will benefit both the recipient and the sender. Okay, suppose I have gone with a request. Okay, so if the person accepts the request, he fulfills all my conditions, then I will also be benefited, that person also will be benefited. Okay, so it is left to the way which we discuss and we settle the matter, the way which we inquire and also the reply we get. Okay, so this is basically about inquiry letter. Okay, so whatever request you are placing before the recipient, that comes under inquiry letter. When we come to this reply letter, it is a response to this inquiry letter. Okay, so and also it can be official or maybe unofficial. Okay, so yes, inquiry letter can be it has to be official only. Okay, so but reply letter can be official or unofficial. Okay, so the way you respond, so this is called as an official or unofficial. Okay, so since this time you are writing, you are learning only formal letters, so here whatever you are learning, the reply letters also will be formal. Okay, it can be official or unofficial, but it has to be formal. Okay, so unofficial letters can also be formal in tone, because you may know that person whom you are writing, you are replying to the inquiry. Maybe you don't know that person personally, but you know him at an official level. So that time the letter what you are sending to him without making a record of it officially becomes an unofficial record. Okay, I am giving a reply letter. Okay, so suppose if it has to go from an officer to another officer, obviously there will be a record that will be maintained. Okay, but at times there may be instances wherein you write a reply to a person, not necessarily, there is no necessity for a reply to be given, but still out of your interest you write a reply to that person, and that will be in a formal tone only. So that can be an unofficial reply. Okay, official for the record purpose, unofficial just for the sake of replying, you do it. Okay, so this is the difference between the inquiry and reply letter. Okay, so we need to understand few more details about those two types of letters. So I'll just tell you what are the tips and tricks in order to write a better inquiry letter. Okay, so you already know what and all should be there in this inquiry letter, isn't it? So let us make it better by adding little more details to it. Okay, so inquiry letter should be written like a formal letter only. Okay, inquiry letter you are asking some official. Okay, at an official level only you are doing it. So it has to be written in the form of a formal letter only. You know the details of formal letter, right? Everything will be left aligned. You will have sender's name and address, then you will have the date, then receiver's name and address. If designation is there, you can write that also. Okay, next you will have the subject line, then the salutation, then the content, then the complimentary clause. At last you will have the signature and the designation of the person who is writing it. Okay, so this way only it has to be written for this inquiry letter also. Okay, so next it must include the sender's contact details. Okay, that is because if at all a reply has to be written, it has to be in detail. Okay, so contact details, address or email address. Okay, at the beginning of the letter. So you already know sender's address should be there in the beginning only, because we are talking about the format of the formal letter. Okay, so it starts with the sender's address and also email address. So you call it as contact details. Okay, so that has to be there without fail in the beginning of the letter only. Okay, so next, letter of inquiry both are same. Right, letter of inquiry must contain all the aspects of inquiring item. Suppose you are writing it for inquiry of a business proposal. Okay, you want to order few items there and you are inquiring maybe somebody in order to give some details about the product or maybe some goods. Okay, so that this letter actually should contain all the aspects. Okay, suppose you are requesting somebody to provide order of maybe 1000 bulbs or something. You need to ask them all minute details. Okay, what is the wattage and what might be the current bill you incur, all the minute details, right? So all that have to be included over there as questions. Fine. So all the aspects should be included. It should contain the date and address of the receiver. Okay. So here you are sending it and the date and address is very important. Okay. Suppose you fulfill it or not. Okay. So receiving date is very much important. Okay. That is because when you receive it, that person will have an account of when this person has received the letter, and from then the reply will be counted. Okay. Suppose you are writing a reply or that person has sought a reply for that. So that time it is very much important for you to mention the date, because suppose they might have asked you to reply within 5 days. Okay. But the letter has reached you on the 4th day, which is a delay in reaching. Okay. So that time when you mention the date, it is very easy for them to take a stand that this letter has reached us late. So we are going to reply after 4 days. That, like, for reply we are going to take 4 days. Okay. So this is just an example I gave you. So date is very much important in any type of letter. Okay. So this was the tips and tricks one part. So few more to add on. You need to add the subject of the letter precisely to give some idea of what will be discussed in the letter. Okay. Suppose you are writing a letter, as I told you, you are writing a letter to inquire about the bulbs, as I said. Okay. Supply of bulbs. So inquiry for 30 watt bulbs, I say. Okay. So the receiver, whoever has received it, will have a knowledge that yes, this person is going to explain about this. Okay. That means the receiver will be in a prepared position in order to, like, he will know what I can expect from this letter. Okay. So in that case, you need to mention the subject there. Okay. So then make sure you add a salutation, very importantly, at the start, and your signature, name and designation at the end of the letter. Okay. So salutation, how you address that person, and also your name, address and designation, you have to mention it in the end of the letter. Okay. So this is how you make sure what and all should be there in that letter. Okay. And it has to be written concisely, whatever is required, only that much will be there, clearly also. Okay. You need to mention clearly what you are looking for, what you are inquiring. Okay. Simply you just beat around the bush, means include all the unnecessary details, then the letter will not serve any purpose. Okay. So you have to mention those details only which is relevant. Please do not beat around the bush. Okay. So you need to mention the reason and inquiry details. You also need to mention the reason there, because whenever you mention the reason, even though if that order is not available at that person, he will make an arrangement which is feasible for your reason. Okay. So whatever is apt for the reason what you have stated, the person who is going to fulfill it will make sure he will try his best in order to fulfill the order. Okay. Yes, in extreme cases when he cannot do it at all, then he has to reject. But he will try to do what best he can do from his end in order to fulfill that request or fulfill that inquiry what you have done. So that is the reason you need to mention the reason very importantly. Okay. Suppose you are requesting for a 30 watt bulb. Okay. You need to mention why you need that. Okay. Maybe you need to provide that for a hostel or maybe a big hall where of what measurement. Okay. Suppose he doesn't have a 30 watt bulb, he'll provide a higher wattage but a lesser number. So this way he will be able to make a better arrangement over there. Okay. So mentioning reason is very much important there. Okay. And also at the same time, inquiry details also to be mentioned clearly. Okay. So let us now move on to the format of an inquiry letter. What and all should be there? As I told you, this is a form of formal letter. Okay. Since this is a form of formal letter, you need to follow the same format. Okay. So there is not much of detailing here. Just see here, sender's name will be there, address will be there. Of course, your formal letter also begins in the same way, isn't it? Sender's name and address, then you will have the date. Okay. So how do you write the date? In an elaborate form. Okay. Not in MMDDYY format. You need to write it little elaborately. Okay. So then you have this recipient's name, the person who is receiving it. Okay. You need to write his designation also and organization name also. Why is this? Because you are making this inquiry as an inquiry letter. You are writing it as a letter in an official way. Okay. You are placing this request, so or you are placing this inquiry at an official level. Okay, so that's the reason you are writing that recipient's name. You don't know that recipient's name, then only you can write his designation. Okay, you don't know that recipient's name, please write designation, then you need not have to write it again. Okay, mention the organization name also. Okay, so this is the first part, the initial part of the letter. There is some more to add on here. Okay, so you need to write the address there. Okay, official address only. You need not have to write the personal address of the recipient. Please write the official address only. Then we have this subject. This is like a title, as I told you, what that person can expect. Okay, what the recipient can expect from you, that will be mentioned here. Okay, so that is the title. Then we have this salutation. How do you address that person? We have the actual content, that is the body of the letter. Okay, so here you will write a precise, concise detail of what and all you are expecting, what you are inquiring. Okay, so then we have this complimentary clause. After that, it's your name and designation. Okay, your name and designation. Yes, initially also you might have mentioned your name and address, and that address also should not be personal, it has to be official only. Okay, so in the beginning also you need to mention your official address. Here also you will mention the official designation, name and official designation there. Here you need not have to mention the address again. Okay, so these are the important things that have to be there in a formal letter, that means an inquiry letter. Okay, so coming to this reply letter, it is very easy. You just have to have the date in the beginning. Okay, the receiver's address. Okay, whoever is receiving it, the sender in the earlier letter will be the receiver over here. Okay, so then you have the salutation, the body. Here you will not have the sender's address initially. So that sender's address, what you saw initially, that will not be there. Okay, because usually it will be done in a under the letterhead. Okay, so this will be usually done in the letterhead, reply letter. So you need not have to mention that. Here you may mention or may not mention, but if at all you are mentioning, you can write it here only, name and designation along with the official address. Along with the official address, if you mention, that is fine. Okay, apart from that, you have this body, that is the actual content of the reply. Then you have this complimentary clause, that means you're telling the person who is receiving it that you are going to end the letter. Okay, so this is the format of a reply letter, and this also follows the formal letter format only. Okay, so now let us have a sample inquiry letter here. Okay, so what is the letter all about? So he is inquiring about the course in accountancy. Okay, so this is the format of the letter of inquiry. This goes like a formal letter only. Okay, how does a formal letter look like? Everything is left aligned. Okay, sender's address, date, receiver's address, then the salutation, subject line, actual content, complimentary clause, then the closing salutation, then the name of the person who is sending the letter. Okay, so this follows the format of a formal letter only. Okay, so if you learn a formal letter properly, you need not have to break your head for any of the letters that is there in your business correspondence. Okay, section A, all the letters are formal letters only. Okay, very rarely the sender's address will not be there. Okay, that is when you write a reply letter, sender's address is not there. So like that only, one or two places only the sender's address will not be there. And when it comes to different types of letters like quotation and all, there should be a table that has to be included. Otherwise, all the letters are formal letters only. Okay, alignment part and all, you need not have to take care at all. Everything is left aligned. Okay, so beginning we have this receiver's address. Okay, so this part is the sender's address. Then we have the date. You can see the format of date. It is not in the format of DDMMYY. Okay, it is elaborate. So July is written completely. Okay, so then we have the designation, then the official address, that is the organization address. Okay, so then we have the salutation here, then the subject line, inquiry about course in accountancy. Okay, so what is the letter all about? So this person is citing the interest of this receiver to an advertisement. Okay, so with reference to your advertisement online, okay, about the short-term course in accountancy. This is a short-term course in accountancy offered by your institute. So this institute is offering a short-term course online, and this he is writing in order to inquire about that. Okay, so here he is asking few details. Okay, so let me know if your institute is recognized by any university. First thing is affiliation, you need to take care. What is the duration and the fee of this course? Okay, so these are the important things that he has to understand before getting admission there. Okay, apart from this, what else do you know? Do you need hard copies of the study material? Sorry, will he be getting the hard copies of the study material? That is the very important point here. Okay, because after completing the course, few may provide, some institutes may provide soft copy only. Okay, like you also get soft copy for your whatever course you are understanding. Okay, so like that only, do we also get hard copy or soft copy is what his inquiry is, and along with the online subject matter. So what and all you are teaching, for that will we have a hard copy of study material is the question, and also if there is a contact program, and if at all it is there, what is the duration of the contact program is the question. Okay, so these are the things he is inquiring, and also he is closing. This is the complimentary close. I shall be extremely thankful for an early reply. So this is the way he is putting it further, that he is closing the letter, then the salutation you have, then the person who is writing it. Okay, so these are the details that have to be there in an inquiry letter. It's a sample inquiry letter. Let us now move on to a sample reply letter, but this reply is actually not for the question, not for the inquiry what we saw earlier. This is a different letter. Okay, but this is a reply letter. You already know there should be date. Okay, so date left to you, you have to write it in the prescribed format. Then you have, dear friend, this is an unofficial reply letter. Okay, this person is a friend only in the official level. So he is writing a reply for the sake of replying. Okay, so this is an unofficial reply, as I told you. So first of all, I would like to thank you for inviting me to your success party. So he is writing a reply for some invitation. Okay, so he is just writing a reply letter here. So I am writing this letter in response to your invite. I am really very sorry that I won't be able to be part of your success. So he is rejecting the invitation here. Okay, at the same time, he is ending the letter by giving him some blessings. Okay, so I will pray to God to bring the best for you and bring success to your doorstep. So he is showering his blessings over here. Okay, then also I will meet you by the end of April. There is an assurance there. Okay, so this is a reply to an invitation, and you have the salutation along with the name of the sender. Okay, so this is an unofficial reply letter. You can't do it officially, because officially you have to use your official address only. So the reply, it need not have to be acknowledged. Okay, if you are not going to the party, that's fine, but for the sake of replying, for the sake of an unofficial record, he is just writing this reply. Okay, so this was the letter writing part, that is from your section A, that is business correspondence. This is the first part you have learned, that is inquiry and reply letter. Okay, so hoping this session was very useful to you. Let us meet again in another type of letter that is prescribed by university for you. So keep learning, stay safe. Let us meet shortly. Bye-bye.